Growing up, it's simple. You go to school, you choose the right major. Those dreams you had when you were younger, you were naive to think they were for you. Those are for other people. You need to do something realistic. The cost of living is only going to go up, and you need to be employable, useful, valuable in the job market. People need to take you seriously. Amidst the crippling depression and panic attacks, you figure out how to survive. You get a good job, increase your salary, build up your savings, be a good daughter, a nice friend, a thoughtful partner, a respectable neighbor, a dedicated teammate. You're the hardworking and reliable one, the one your manager can always count on. It's not that hard. You are the considerate one, the one who doesn't make things difficult, at least not for other people. Life might feel difficult for you, like things could fall apart at any moment, but maybe you should just be grateful. Those doubts you have about everything, it's a distraction. You need to focus better. Try having a better mindset. Maybe you should use that mindfulness app. They didn't make it part of your employee benefits package for nothing. Growing up is not actually that hard, and yet somehow you already feel so behind. So exhausted, like everyone else went to a class that you slept through, and every day you're cramming for the exam. But it's not that bad. You'll figure it out later. You just have to work a little harder, and then you can catch up. And you won't feel broken anymore. And everything will be okay.
Hi, sweetie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How did you sleep?
Where do I start? How did we get here? So about a month ago, I quit my job. I did not have another job lined up, and I really didn't have a plan, but I needed to leave, and so now I'm here trying to figure things out. So a bit of backstory, because I think for me it's important. When I was 18, I went to art school. I wanted to study film and photography, and that was kind of the start of my adult life, if you could call it that. Life at that time was really messy. It was very much a chapter of my life where I was fucking around and finding out. I met so many creative, interesting people from all over the world, and it was such a special chapter of my life. It was like my entire world opened up. It was so colorful in a way, just because I was having so many new experiences and meeting new people, and feeling really inspired. And at the same time, that was one of the hardest chapters of my life, mental health wise. I was really depressed. I was like visibly struggling. I felt like everybody else around me was a real person, and I was like a pretend person. I got scared, and I wanted to do the practical thing. I wanted to be employable, and I wanted like a safe career. So I made a big pivot. The art school to accounting pipeline is, I don't know, I wouldn't recommend it. But anyways, I made that decision. I remember at the time my friends kind of like teasing me, like, really, you're gonna go and be an accountant? I needed something safe at that time, and I guess accounting found me. I really didn't want to go into accounting at first, but first of all, I was good at it. We can unpack that later. I think at that time I really craved like psychological security, and so I did a full 180 and really went in the safest option. Yeah, I didn't necessarily want to go into accounting, but on paper there were so many good reasons to pick that path, and I had a lot of different people encouraging me, and I really felt like, well, I'm good at this thing. People tell me I'm good at it. My grades are good. And so what if I could like use it for good, you know? And so that was kind of how I convinced myself. And like I fully committed. I spent almost 10 years trying to make it work. Like I worked in public practice, I worked at a Big Four firm, I worked at a mid-sized firm, I worked in nonprofits. I found work where the mission and values were like really aligned with what I valued as a person. I did freelance work. I tried like basically every version of this career, looking for something that would finally fit. Like maybe this time it'll work out. And that just never came. And I don't want to like sit here and just trash this path, because like there are really valuable things about this career that I'm grateful for. Accounting gave me a sense of stability, of safety, security, and at the time that really mattered to me. And I put a lot of effort into it. I built a life around all these systems that I thought could like hold me together and keep me grounded and compensate for all the messy parts of myself. But I didn't realize in the time that that's what I was doing, you know? Like I was just trying to survive in the way that I knew how. But I think throughout that whole time, I was still that person. Like I was still that 18-year-old, and I think I was trying to pretend to myself that I wasn't. The two sides of you and the friction, like you can only deny that for so long. There is something so exhausting about trying to make yourself fit into a box that you simply don't fit in. And I think when you're not honest with yourself, you can only do that for so long. And I tried so many different versions of that box, like working at a smaller firm, at a bigger firm. I kept hoping that it would work, like that it would finally click, and that I could finally like be happy with it. That satisfaction just never came. Like on paper, I got my dream job, or like a dream job, that when I first went into accounting, I thought, oh, this would be my dream job. And I got that dream job. And I was miserable. I was so stressed out. Like I just didn't have any I didn't have any sense of satisfaction. And the thing is, it wasn't about the specific setting. The problem is that I was trying to pretend like all these parts of me didn't exist, like the creative part, like the people person. Like the worst fucking job for an extrovert is working in accounting. I was leaving so many important parts of myself out of the equation, and I was like hiding them away, and just I spent almost a decade trying to make it work, trying to do the practical thing, trying to like hold it together for other people. I was always exhausted. I was always pulling all-nighters. It was so challenging for me, and like but it almost worked in that I almost convinced myself. But that only worked for so long until it didn't. And then it really didn't work. So something happened at my last job that made it clear that it was time for me to go. That's a story for another day. But I wouldn't have left on my own. I really wanted to find a way to make it work, because that's what I've always done. I think like being forced by this situation was like the permission that I needed. Like I know I don't need permission, but I felt like I didn't want to let people down. I didn't want to screw anybody over somehow just because of the situation. It really felt to me like I had to leave. I had so many feelings. It was a mess. I was a fucking mess, but I needed to do it. But thankfully, like I had people in my life who were honest with me and really supported that like I needed to leave. I am glad in a way that things happened the way they did, because there was never going to be a right time. There was never probably going to be an amount in my bank account that felt like safe enough. So I would definitely still be there right now, trying to make it work. Yeah, having mental breakdowns every day. I ended up giving 3 weeks notice, and I like cried every day during those 3 weeks. I was either crying, like completely dissociating, like not functioning, or I was like on the ground. I was like on the ground, just crying. And so it was really emotional, and it was scary. It felt like financially a really bad decision. Luckily, I had people who know me really well, and they really pushed me to like make the decision. Having that support is like the reason that I feel like I can actually try to figure this out, and like I don't need to rush into the next thing. So if you're watching this and you also are in a tough season of your life and things are changing, I hope you have those people too, the ones who can be honest with you and really support you through that. And if you don't, like, I'm here for you. We're in this together. Right after I gave my notice also, my scarcity mindset kind of kicked in, and I was like, oh my God, what if I can never find another job again? What if nobody will hire me? Like what if this is, you know, the decision that screws out my entire life? I was looking at barista jobs. I applied to culinary school. I was just like desperately trying to like tell myself that it would be okay, that I could do something else. And it's funny because the challenge actually became to not apply for jobs. My last day was February, and I set a timeline of 1 month for myself where I couldn't look at jobs. And it helped that I had a nice vacation plan too. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna take like a couple weeks to just decompress. You know, I can wallow, I can do whatever, be a potato, and that's okay. And then I'm gonna go on my vacation, enjoy myself, relax, like just really make the most out of that vacation. And then when I get home, then we'll figure things out. And I think that actually really was good for me. It was really nice to have that marker, not trying to fix things before that month came up. But now the month is up, and we do need to start figuring things out, but that's okay. That's the journey that we're gonna go on together. What I'm excited about now is, I think, trying to lean into that creative side. Like when I think back to that 18-year-old version of myself, like, yes, she was really struggling in a lot of ways, and like she needed help that she just wasn't getting. But also, I think in a way she had some things figured out. Like 18-year-old me chose art school, and it was a decision that I made totally for myself. There wasn't anybody else that I was trying to impress with that decision. It was just what I wanted for myself at the time. And I'm really proud that at that time that I pursued that. So even though I took a little detour, being creative and having a creative outlet is what I wanted for myself. Before I, got worried about paying the rent and doing the practical thing and like being taken seriously by society. I remember like in high school getting teased a lot because I was always taking photos. Like I always had my camera out. I was always taking pictures. I remember I had classmates who would tease me about that. They'd be like, oh, she's always taking photos. Which, yeah, to be fair, it was probably really annoying. But I loved photography. I loved taking photos. I loved making videos. And I had so much baggage around that. I was like telling that part of myself to like just be quiet and wait and hide, to stop being so loud. I don't want to do that anymore. I think I'm done hiding away all these parts of myself that don't feel neat and tidy, because life is messy. I'm a messy person. I think this channel is about me really like leaning into that creative side of myself and letting her be. Hey, Zell. Hey, sweetie. Hey, smelly girl. Come here. Come here. You're such a good girl. Are you helping me? Are you helping me? You're such a sweetie. You're such a sweetie. Thank you. You're so sweet. You're such a good girl. Well, anyways, I guess that's a pretty good cue. I've been yapping for a long time. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you are trying to figure things out, just know that I believe in you. You can do it. You are so strong. You're so brave. And we can do this together.